Well, excuse me. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. What was that Jimmy Durante used to say? Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are. Anyway, today is a special day. Today is Thursday. You know what that means. Mickey Mouse Club, we're going to have a special day. So, I want to thank you for joining me. You know, if you're not here, we're not here, and this is your live stream. We want you to ask questions and engage on the message board. Please do that. Otherwise, it gets very boring listening to me talk all day. So, we got Wes working the camera. Say hi, Wes.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hold down the enthusiasm, buddy. That a boy.
You say that every time.
Oh, well, I guess
You
it's
need
your...
time to come up with some new jokes, buddy.
Okay. All right. Yeah, like that'll happen. Let's see. I did hear some good jokes this week, and I can't remember. And
Wow,
then
they must have been really good then.
Gail is working the message board there. So we're here in PE's Playhouse here. We need to remodel this place, man. Jeez. We're getting ready for rain. We got rain coming. California, another 3 inches. Spent all day digging yesterday. The drain that's supposed to be for the park, the culvert was clogged up. We got to do that. I was like, what the hell? Anyway, I don't know why this guitar sounds so tinny. Does it sound tinny to you?
No.
All right, so anyway, before we get into this guitar, let's see who's here. Jimmy Rolfe. Hi, Jimmy Rolfe. Jimmy Rolfe is here. Stan, nice to see you. And Andrew, thank you again for joining us. Carl from Belgium. Wow. Hi, Carl. 14808, aloha from Hawaii. Oh, jeez. That sounds nice. Let's do a seminar in Hawaii. And then, let's see, Timothy. Hi, Timothy. I hear you're thinking about coming to the Guitar College workshop this year. I think it'd be really good for you. I think you'd have a blast. And so, gosh, at least you live close, so you don't have to book a flight. I should have tuned this. Got to explain to you, that first song I played there, it's called Alone Together. And I had done the band in a box and everything to get a slower track because I wanted to do some things that I can't do it that dang fast. And so I thought it was all on here, and I go to find it and it's gone. It's like, good God. Colorado Springs. Okay. Well, we hope to go there in September to the Archtop Festival. We did a seminar one time in Colorado Springs. Actually, we ended up staying in Beulah, which is outside of... What is that outside of? I forget. Anyway.
Denver, maybe?
No, not Denver. What's the...
Boulder?
No. It's like there's a lot of government offices there. You write to them. Pueblo, Colorado, is that it? Or?
That's a place.
Yeah. Anyway. Anyway, we were there. Mike Carr. No way. Hey, Mike Carr. Mike Carr, are you still in Taiwan? Are you in Taiwan now? I think so. He's Bangkok. Is Bangkok Taiwan? Wes?
What's that?
Is Bangkok in Taiwan?
I don't... Hong Kong, maybe?
No, I don't know. Anyway, hi, Mike. Thank you for joining us. I see you're playing a lot, man. That's really great.
Thailand, yeah. Thailand, not Taiwan.
Oh, Thailand. Oh, yeah. So China is going to be invading pretty soon, I guess. That's good. Good to know, huh, Mike? Gotta love those guys.
Well, no, because that would be Taiwan.
Oh, Taiwan. Oh,
He's in Thailand.
oh, he's in Thailand. Oh, okay. All right. Mike Carr, howdy, Mike. Yeah, Jim Rolfe and Mike Carr know each other. We were at Jim's party. Mike showed up out of nowhere. It was really funny. All of a sudden, Mike Carr comes strolling in from Bangkok. It's like, what? That was for our reunion. That was so nice to have you. Okay, Kim made it. Okay, Kim, nice to have you here. And Rick from Quebec. Good afternoon from Thai. What's that? Chill? Wherever that is. What is that?
Where?
Rick, Lewis Taylor. Anyway, boy, we've got a lot of new names here. This is great. Mark, hi, Mark from Tennessee. I got that. These guitars up here, we're going to be looking at them. Jim from Philly. They're all rocking on Bandstand, Philadelphia, PA. All right.
The Chai, he meant. Lewis Taylor, Chicago. The Chai. That Chai.
Last night I went to sleep in Detroit City.
Why does that thing sound so out of tune?
Because it's out of tune.
That bad? You just played it.
Yeah, that bad. So I just got this. Let's take a look at this. This is a 1975 Ibanez copy. This is called definitely the lawsuit copy. This was made in 1975, and it is a copy of a Johnny Smith. Now, this is one of the nicest ones I have ever seen, especially for a guitar that is almost 50 years old. This thing is just gorgeous, and it's unbelievable. So look at the headstock is just great. And now here's where they got sued. Now see the headstock up here? It's called the open book headstock. Okay, Gibson saw this and said, hey, no way, you got to change something, it's the headstock. I mean, you can't copyright a guitar, I guess, but you can copyright, I don't know. But, so this is Johnny Smith. It's got the split block inlays. Now, here's the deal. The guy I bought it from replaced this pickup and pickguard with something else, with what you see right here. And by the way, he did a beautiful, beautiful job soldering it. He's got the orange cap on there. It's really a nice... Hey, Wes, is this channel flat?
Which channel?
The guitar. It is, okay. All right, so anyway, he replaced it with this here. And as you all know, it's a jazz guitar, and the original had two pickups that you seldom used in the back. So, but look at how nice that is. And it's got the little top buster little thing there that you can adjust for the resonance of the top. It's got this thing. He bought it from an older gentleman in Santa Barbara. He said that he never played it. Now this is a laminate maple sides and back with a laminate spruce top. and I'm noticing under the lights, look at how striped it is. Crazy. The neck is a 3-piece neck without the stringer, as you can see right there. And he had replaced the tuners with these waffle back tuners. Aren't those beautiful? He has the originals. I have the originals too. So I bought this locally from a fella. Real nice guy, and sounds like he's probably a real great player too. And so I have the originals on there, and they're in nice shape, but he said he just liked the looks of the waffle back. So that's what those are called, waffle back tuners. So here's my dilemma. My dilemma.
Wait, hold on. First, is that bridge? Is that the original bridge, or is that replaced?
The foot is original, I believe, but I don't know if it came with a tune-o-matic or not. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Actually, I don't think it did. I've looked at some other pictures. Now, if you look at later ones, they've changed the headstock. I think they changed the headstock in '77 because of the lawsuit. So this is the Johnny Smith. See how big that headstock is? Okay. But it's not quite a Johnny Smith because the scale length is 24 3/4. Johnny Smith is 25. Johnny Smith is also 1 3/4, and I could have swore this was that. It just seemed big until I measured it, and this is 1 11/16. So I'm very excited about this guitar.
Did you say what year it was?
Yeah, 75.
Gotcha.
And it doesn't have a sweet sound. But my dilemma. My dilemma is, do I replace what he's done here and put the original back on? And if you take a look at the original, it's still in beautiful shape. Okay, so this hooks on there. And then, so the original is in beautiful shape. Looks like one of the pots has been replaced. The switch still works just fine. Everything's pretty much it. Right on. So I'm thinking I'm going to do that. I'd like to hear your opinion. So put this back on, it would look like, it'd look like that. And with this back pickup. Not that you're going to use it, but just the fact that it is original. And even though it's a copy, these originals, these Ibanez copies, and I swear to God, I've never seen one this nice. And usually on these, the binding has all gone south. Now, I believe this is a poly finish. It's not a nitro, whatever it's called. The name escapes me. I want to say lactose. It's not lactose. It's not lactose intolerant. But the binding is just beautiful. If you ever see any of these, you'll notice the binding has really gone to hell. But this is not. It's got a sweet, sweet sound. The neck is thin, pretty thin neck, easy to play. I, of course, put my strings on it. So the question is, am I going to keep it or am I going to sell it? I don't know.
Is that so? Am I wrong by saying it's weird to that dual pickup setup? I've never seen that before.
Oh, yeah.
with the two floating.
The
pickups?
Johnny Smith came with a second pickup, trying to capture the country guys. So
So it would be interesting. Does it sound country? Like the back pickup on say that one, your L4 back there.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever experienced it. Because it's just the back pickup. I don't know.
So that's why they put it on there though, to try to get country.
Yeah, country
twangy
guys, and what have you, have a little more.
Can we hear that thing how it sounds acoustic?
Sure. Anyway, that's what it sounds like. Anyway, anybody got any comments about that? Wes, anybody say anything about that?
Yeah. Hold on a second. What did you go over the body depth dimensions? What size is that thing?
It's like an L. Well, it's actually a little thinner than an L5. This should be 3-inch body depth. Let's check.
It looks fat, and like it looks big. It looks like a big guitar. Is it big?
It's big. 3 3.25 by 17.
And what's an L5?
3.5 or 3.75 by 17.
Gotcha. So that's a big ol' thing.
Yeah. So
what how does that compare to a L5 body shape? I mean, is it?
it's about the same thing,
Yeah.
Now the neck angle supposedly on a Johnny Smith is a little steeper on the body. They have the neck angle so it's not so straight, and so it goes off at a pitch, and you can tell by how high these strings are, and then it puts more down pressure on the top here. But if you could see the headstock on here, do you see how there's not much of a pitch? You see, it doesn't have that big pitch. Gibson's also didn't have, during this particular time period, I think, they also didn't. Now, the thing about that is, they say if you have a steeper pitch, 17 degrees like Heritage does. I don't know what the degree of Gibson is. It's probably close to the same. It makes more down pressure on the nut, therefore giving it a little more sustain. However, it makes the neck weaker here, and that's why you get all those Gibsons, the headstock repair, because the grain, you figure the grain is just kind of being cut off, going out at an angle. So they went to this so it's straighter. So the grain, there would be more grain, and it would be stronger here. So isn't that crazy? Anyway, so that's the deal with this guitar.
Gotcha. So, Dusty says, archive the originals, follow your ears if it's for personal use. So what do you think there would be a big difference between the, if you put the original on that original setup on there?
I don't know. I forget what pickup this is. I think it's Lauer or a Armstrong. I don't know.
How old is it? Or do you remember, did he tell you how long ago he did that?
2 years ago.
Got it. So essentially it's brand new.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like it would be curious to see if that one from 1975 just has a warmer feel just because it's older, or a different type of sound or something. I don't know.
It might be different. You never know. So I think I'm going to do that. I mean, it's not that hard, so why not?
Right.
You could just unsolder a few things. It's a different, I guess you had to drill a hole there because there's 2 screws there. It's a different holder for the pickguard. I wonder why he did that.
Bill Nelson says, restore it because then it's something special you could use for all genres.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so maybe I'll do that. So, what else is new? I mean, do you have any other questions about this before we leave it?
Yeah, I mean, you're selling it, right? Is that the deal? Or are you still deciding? Or and again, folks, this could change. His answer now could change by the end of the live stream. So he'll say, "Yeah, I'm gonna sell it," and then by the end of the live stream, be like, "I think I'm actually gonna keep this."
Yeah.
So, what are you thinking right now? We'll check back in with you at the end on it.
Yeah, please do. Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
I mean, to be honest, that thing that would be something to keep because just of how good of condition it is. It's like perfect.
I know it.
When I looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, this thing looks like you just bought it brand new from a store or something.
Yeah. It's got a couple little dings on it. That's the beauty of a blonde guitar. You don't see the blemishes when you knock it into something, usually. But anyway, there's hardly anything, any kind of anything on it. Yeah. It's crazy.
Jim Geibel says floating pickups make sense on a plywood top? ?
Sure, of course. Yeah, as a matter of fact, like the Herb Ellis with a floating pickup, it's a beautiful sounding guitar, man. Jeez, and that's a laminate top. So, yeah, why? It's just a different animal. I think I have a video on that, just saying, should I do a mounted pickup or a floating pickup? And they're just completely different. And I say the answer is yes, you should have both because they just are different.
So I guess to wrap it up with this guitar is how much is a Gibson? How much would a 1975 Gibson Johnny Smith cost?
Probably in the neighborhood of $9,000 or $10,000, $8,000, $9,000 or $10,000.
Oh, wow. And then these, these are running, in the 3,000.
These are more like a
3, 4,
5. I've seen them. There's one, I think, on Reverb. Of course, he's in Hungary, but he wants $5,600 for it. I'm like, what? But
how much?
$5,600.
Gotcha.
That's $5,600.
Yeah, here's some Johnny Smiths here. This 1970 is
12.
10.5,
yeah.
9. Yeah, interesting. So, I mean, if you wanted a Johnny Smith, but you can't afford that crazy price tag, that could be an option for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So the Johnny Smith originally came, I think you could get either one pickup or two. So I've seen them both. And that's the name of that.
And the Johnny Smith model always has the floating pickups, right?
Yes.
They don't have a humbucker one.
No. Well, it's a humbucker, but it's floating.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else on that thing? Let's play maybe play a little fingerstyle thing on it real quick.
Oh yeah, I was gonna play. Let me get my music out. Excuse me.
There are a lot of questions, but they're which I'm going to get to in a second. So, but I'm trying to be more on topic here. Trying to.
That a boy, Wes. Way to be on topic. I'm gonna get this thing out of here. I'll end up ruining the live stream. I shouldn't have entered it so early. Let's improvise on it. that was Moonglow, kind of. I have this arrangement on the web page. See it right here. Camera, camera, camera. Anyway. So, floating pickups. Okay. So, Moonglow, isn't that a great tune? Great tune.
Armani just popped on here. How's it going, buddy? He says, "Hi, Rich. That's the model George Benson played. He removed the second pickup. I heard Ibanez modified it for him."
Okay. Yeah, like the George Benson now, is the little guitar with the floating pickups. That's a laminate top.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we can move away from to get to some of these questions here. Carl, any tricks for hearing how many steps a modulation goes up or down?
No. You can kind of sense it, can't you? People are afraid to modulate down, and modulating down is probably a great idea. Reason being because then when you modulate back up, it's pretty neat, So, just a thought, when you modulate, going down a minor third is kind of neat. Going up a minor third is nice. Those are stock kind of things. And then also modulating up a half step, you generally can hear that. Doesn't this guitar, it's got that high end glitter. It almost sounds like, hair. It's, I don't know how to explain that. It's not that.
Was that Stairway to Heaven that you just started playing?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Larry Malott in Davidson, Michigan asks, do you use the cage system when improvising?
Well, you use it to learn where the shapes are all at. That's what you do. After that, you don't say, hey, I'm going to do the C shape, I'll do the F shape or the E shape. You don't do that. You just kind of, it opens up the guitar neck. And I think that's important. Speaking of that, I've been toying around with, here's what I've been doing lately. Anybody's interested. I'll take a key. I've been taking like a key a day. And you take it and you really study it. And here's one of the things you can do. Like I've been working on minor, harmonic minor. So we'll go like, let's say D harmonic minor. So on every string, you play the notes of the D harmonic minor. I think this guitar sounds bitchin'. Okay, so there's all the notes of the guitar where D harmonic minor is. Now, instead of playing block chords, which is all well and good, but you take, don't just play D minor, and D minor, but to do some inversions and what have you. But the next thing that you want to do is you want to play two notes at once. So then now you go. And then we add another note. So we might go now. No, yeah. Was that it? No, I'm in G minor, yeah. Well, let me start over. Is that what I played? No, I played B flat. And now I have to make that big skip, that harmonic minor skip. And then so you get all these little combinations, and then you can play around with making little melodies. That's all within harmonic minor scale. Is that what I did? Wait a minute. I forgot what I did. Started off. What did I start with? Oh, I started with that. So then you start adding them across the strings, and you get all these different chords and melodic patterns. It's a very cool thing to do, and it's very hard after a while. And so you have a natural tendency that you want to analyze this, and you want to remember it, so you want to learn it as a block form. So instead of learning it as a block form, learn it as a linear? No. Is that, what's the word? Going this way. Not block this way. Linear, not, Wes, help me out. Linear.
Horizontal.
Horizontal, okay, horizontal. In other words, D harmonic minor is all over here, right? It's not just in a few spots. So I think that is really, I've been doing that. I'll spend a freaking hour and a half doing this kind of stuff. You'd think I'd get it a little more together for you, but you come up with some of the coolest things. And then if you decide to do the harmonic bebop, so flat 7, sharp 7, root, and then if we play the sharp 7 as a dominant 2 chord, so a dominant 2 chord or 5 of 5 in the key of D minor is a C, is a E altered something. So then I could get songs like I keep going back to G minor. I guess I was working on that earlier. And then I get this chord. So now I get so it's just a lot of fun. So I'd recommend you do that. Study keys on the guitar and finding all the chords, all the different kinds of shapes, and it works for major or harmonic minor, melodic minor, diminished, it doesn't matter. So you really get to know where everything is in keys. That's what I've been doing lately. I don't know if it's really been a benefit, but I've enjoyed it immensely.
Interesting. Okay. David Eland says he signed up for your jazz starters like you suggested, working through the dirty dozen chords and licks. Once I started using a looper pedal on the chords, the licks started making sense. Looper pedals.
Yeah, very handy. My Jam Man has broken again. I've repaired it twice. The pots go bad. And now the switch is gone bad. It won't shut off. So now I got to fix that. It's like one more thing. That thing it's a great pedal, but it's broken so many times. And then 2 or 3 years ago, I got this pedal from Eras, AEORS company, and it's still in the box, and I'm ashamed to say that because they were so nice to give it to me. And but I got it out, and I thought, God dang it, this thing is confusing. And I just had a hard time, and I thought, I don't have 3 hours to sit with this damn thing. So, but I got to do that because that's a very elaborate pedal, and
Yeah, you should do that.
I know we need to do that.
On the road again says, what do you think of Aria jazz guitars, particularly the 175 copies? Any models or eras to avoid? I have the opportunity to buy one, but it has no serial number and looks like a FA71.
Well, I just sold my Aria L5 copy or Super 5 copy. Just sold that. I don't know what year you're talking about. Did he mention the year?
No.
So it doesn't have a serial number, so you don't know. They didn't even keep... This doesn't have a serial number either. This is before they had serial numbers. So, you can only identify it. I think they're good. Aria builds a fantastic guitar. There's no question about it. So now the newer ones, I don't know that much about. I've seen some newer ones. I used to work at Driscoll's Music. Mike, are you still there? And then they used to get in these Aria guitars, and they were little different shapes. They were very interesting guitars, and they were great. So, I always liked them.
Mike Carr asked a little earlier, do you ever use the back pickup on any of your jazz boxes?
No. Who asked that?
Mike.
Oh, no.
Uh,
I went to a George Benson concert, and he was playing, I forget which guitar, but it looked to me like the pickup selector, I had my binoculars looking at a light big screen. The pickup selector was pointed at the back pickup, but it didn't sound like it. So I was wondering if he just did that to throw everybody off. But anyway, so no, I never do. I don't like the sound.
Let's see.
Painted black, 10-string Showbud steel guitar pickups on it, and almost forget the sound holes bigger. What?
I don't know.
What's he talking?
I have no idea.
Painted black?
You're gonna have to. Harrow Glop says, hi, have you seen the new Vox amp for hollow body guitars at the Vox Club in? Remember?
Yeah, we did. We showed it last week. We haven't seen it in person. There's a new.
It's not out yet. I think it's coming out in spring in like a few weeks, but I could be wrong. Maybe you can buy one right now. I don't know. But yeah, we did talk about it last week. Would be interesting to see how that sounds for sure.
Yeah, interesting.
Let's see.
I would keep it with one pickup. The second gets in the way, and anyway, the guitar sounds fabulous.
All right, Barry Roberts says, "Hi, Rich.
Hi, Barry.
I've been working on the chord melody for Summertime in the in the JGI course for 21 days. Any tips or words of encouragement?"
Yeah, well, you're on track. This stuff is not easy, Barry. So you're on track. So it'll get, well, maybe it won't get any easier, but because we move pretty quick on that course. But I think just keep doing it. You can move ahead, but always remember to review. You always have to review. Okay, that should be part of your daily routine is the review.
Plus, okay, so Summertime's the first song, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, wouldn't it be safe to say that the chord melody is the hardest part of the song?
Yeah. Yeah, you would be very safe to say that.
So, yeah, and plus once you learn one of them, and you kind of learn how it goes and how difficult it is or whatever, shouldn't that help for the next one to be a little easier and go a little faster probably?
Theoretically, yes, but they're not. They're a different set of group of chords. But yeah, you're right. It should. You want to here's what we're trying to do with Summertime is we're trying to get away and use things that you've never used before that are common in the jazz guitar world. Okay, chords like this, those kind of sounds are usually you got to go through Mel Bay Book 10 before you get to those sounds. So I wanted to introduce them right away because you already have probably been messing around with these chords, like this and this and this. We don't want those. We want the cool sounding stuff. Right?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I see a question. For bebop style guitar, would recommend floating or set pickup? Yes. It's different, man. Both are different. The floating cuts through. It also feeds back easier. I like the floating sound. I like the other sound too. So, but one can't do the other.
Well, what do you prefer?
Well, I've always gone with the mounted sound, but I've taken like a Sweet 16 to gigs many times, and I thought, God, this is bitchin'. I love that sound, and then I get sidetracked and I go back to what I've always done, so. Which is this guitar right here. You see that L4? That L4 there? I think I'm going to sell that because you know what I got coming, Wes?
I don't.
It'll be here tomorrow, a 775.
Oh, nice.
Which is like a 175 with the pickup up by the neck and a 5-piece neck, ebony fretboard. I like 5-piece necks because they can be a little thinner. And so, but it's like I said, like a 175, but a little fancier.
Just for people that don't know maybe what we were talking about with your JGI course, maybe you should talk about it for a second. Like why?
Okay. All right,
for people that want to get into jazz, what do you why this works so well
all
for
right, well,
soloing?
yeah. So what we do is we take 6 key tunes, important songs, and you learn the chord melody. You learn how to play the melody, period, in a couple of different registers and in octaves. You learn to play the chord melody. Then you learn the changes to the song. And you don't just, we try to introduce cool changes, not just the regular stuff. All right, so then, because it takes just as much effort to learn the cool stuff as it does to learn the Dobie Gillis square stuff, you know? So then you learn a solo. And this is, or there might be an arpeggio study. I don't know. I don't think so. But you learn a solo. And the key, Chopin said, improvisation is a reorganization of something you already know how to do. So you learn a solo note for note. And we explain where all the notes are coming from. And you memorize that solo. Then the next solo, we've taken those notes and rearranged them to create a new solo. Then I want you to take that, both of those, and rearrange another solo of your own, and you actually write it down. So that process happens, you know, the first time you do it, it might take a couple days. The second time you do it, might take a day. Third time you do it, might take a few hours. Eventually, you're going to be doing it on the fly because that's kind of what you do when you improv. You know, if we have a line that goes, then we take that information and we might go backwards. So we've kind of taken that and it's instilled in us those lines. So now we might go. You know, so now I've reorganized something I already learned how to do to make an improvisation. So that's the key.
So yeah, it's a super long course. I mean, not you learn these songs inside and out, basically, right? I mean,
mm-hmm. And you have that, you have access forever on that,
right? But yeah, you also learn, you know, you have octave ideas in there, right? Octave solos.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of comping in there too.
Oh yeah, you comp each song, and you learn the melody because here's the deal: improvisation does not just apply to a solo; it applies to how you comp the chords. Here's what makes jazz different. Okay, if you're going to play in a rock band and you're going to play Gloria, you're going to go like this. Because that's what the original guys did, right? You're not going to play Gloria, you know. You're not going to rearrange it with, you know. You know, that's not Gloria anymore. Okay?
Wow.
Now, with jazz is like, here's a set of changes for the song. Okay? Goes 1, 6, 2, 5 in minor. You know what I mean? So all these ways are ways of comping the song. So you are using your creativity to comp the song. Same thing with playing the melody. We're not going 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? You're going to play it with some emotion and expression. So you're going to go. Let's see. Let me start. So you're going to play it in your own way, and you might mix up octaves. Okay?
Love it.
All right, so that's it.
Great job. There you go. Andrew from New Jersey says, it looks like you use a standard size pick rather than a tiny jazz pick, and you leave a lot of the pick exposed to the string, which is different than most jazz players.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep. What?
So you use
Yeah.
you use a standard size pick rather than a tiny jazz pick.
I used to always use these, about this size, and then,
Wait, put it up to this one.
well, this is called a black ice, a Diodaria one. You got to switch the camera.
Come on. There you go.
There. Okay. This is the size I use now. Just your regular pick. And then I have been known to use these. So that's a good question, Andrew. For some reason, I felt like I kept dropping these a lot, and they'd move around, and so, now you even have less. And when you sweep pick, I like a heavy pick, but if it's shorter, it's more, it's stiffer too. I never thought I would really, years ago that I'd end up doing this with this, and especially this, So it's got a lot of stuff for me to hang on to. Now, Joe Pass said he used to use the other side of the pick like this instead of the pointy end. And it kind of glides over the pick, the strings a little bit better.
Calbertone says, I would keep it with one pickup. The second one gets in the way, and the guitar already sounds fabulous. Dawn Spain says, where is the guitar store police?
Hi, Amy.
Um,
Amy's on here. Did you see that?
I did, yeah.
Hi, Amy Lynn.
You should be saying hi to Kaysen and Kylo because they're watching.
Oh, yeah.
Kaysen, hi.
Hey, Kaysen. Kylo, that's my little girl, Amy, is a grandmother. It's like, geez, good God.
Dusty Bouvier, I'm guessing that's how you say that. Didn't the factory air dry wood due to the climate at the base of Mount Fuji? A rare process, I read. The other factories could not air dry.
Gee, that's a good question. I've never heard that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Kathleen Cox says, hi to all. Keep the single pickup. It looks balanced and sounds great. Bill Nelson when he was talking about his painted black 10-string Showbud steel guitar pickups, he was saying that's how you would convert it to a Roy Orbison guitar replica.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you probably don't want to do that. Kalanji Jones says, Moonlight in Vermont was the first song I tried to learn. I didn't know any better. Is that a hard song?
No, not really.
Gotcha. And then Robin asks...
Hi, Rob.
He says, how come the ES 775s weigh so much, 8.5 pounds?
Probably because it's got a lot of, it's a laminate, 2 pickups. Do you think it's any more than a 175? The tailpiece might be a little heavier. It's got the 3-piece neck or 5-piece neck. That neck is a little heavier. So, yeah, I don't know. I've only seen 2 of them. I've been to a lot of guitar shows, and I've only seen 2. So, this one, I paid a lot for it, I think. But, they're all expensive. Everything's expensive. But it looked to me to be really in nice shape.
Hey, Aim, if you're still watching, you could send me a picture of the boys and then text it to me, and then I could show it on here, and people could know what we're talking about with the little your great grandbabies.
Yeah.
Kason and Kylo.
Yeah.
And maybe they have their guitars out. Gail Severson has a comment here. She says, I find a variety of different size picks in the laundry each week. Maybe they shrink.
Yeah, maybe they do. Yeah, I don't know. So I always like the bigger picks now. Let's see, the Fender's 535s, I think they were called. I ended up, that was like the pick that I'm going to use forever. So I bought a gross of them, and then I switched. That's my MO, I don't like to trade in a car until I put new tires on it, or something. I don't know why I switched, but I like these Dunlop picks, the Flex picks. They've got a nice tone. You can hear the difference in the tone. Listen to this. Here's this kind of pick. I don't know. Do you hear a difference? Hear a difference there? Absolutely. Here's this little black one. So anyway, yeah. So the picks all make a different sound. Let's see. Summertime is one of those A minor songs like Stairway to Heaven, House of Rising Sun. Yeah, it is. Everybody plays it A minor. Some people play it in C minor. Some people play it in G minor. And that's the other thing. Generally speaking, a rock and roll tune, you generally play it in the original key. So jazz songs, they go all over to different keys.
Let's see. Bill Nelson did just ask, have you ever played a Gretsch guitar for jazz?
Yeah, I did. And I had bought a Gretsch because I thought, I was doing a gig where the singer would sing jazz and then he'd sing a couple rock tunes and stuff and what have you. And so I thought I'd get this Gretsch, and it was okay. It was a Dwayne Eddy copy of a Gretsch. It was very cool. Had a P90 on the front, and it sounded really nice. Really liked it, but I don't know. There was just something about it just didn't make me want to stick with it. I don't know why. I don't know why that is, but it just didn't do it for me. So I didn't. I sold it.
I mean, they do look like they would be okay for jazz,
Yeah, they don't have the resonant body that you think. It doesn't have a nice acoustic sound, So I don't know. That's my opinion. It's close. It's close, but no cigar.
Gotcha. And finally here, let's see. Robin says, that way we always know to look on top of the dryer for a pick.
That's right. Yeah, that's where they all are.
Dane Nobody the Fourth, he says, a chord I always thought was a minor 11 is actually a minor 7/11.
Yeah, it's implied when you have an 11 or a 13, the 7 is included.
And then he followed up by saying, you omit the ninth minor 7/11 chord. Minor 11 chord includes the ninth.
It depends. It depends on what you do, if it's like this. So I have the third here. Or you could have the third without the ninth. You just go with the important numbers, So generally speaking, if it's the 11, you don't need the ninth. A lot of times that's written as a slash chord, a C over a D. You know what I'm saying? So,
let's see. Eddie Davis, do you still sell any Quilter tone block heads?
Yeah, I get you anything Quilter makes. At a good deal.
This Kalanji Jones. Well, hold on. One guy, a Hunt GW 2013 says he hears the old Sir Mix-a-Lot in the background of my mind. I like big picks and I cannot lie. That's funny. But no, Kalanji Jones, this is a question that I've been wondering too. What are your thoughts on Fender Jazzmasters?
Yeah.
They're good for surf guitar.
Good surf guitar, yeah. Those guitars, the Fender guitars, I think are, and a solid body guitar is more, I think, more of an amp driver than it is guitar by itself to me. In other words, the amp is so much more into play than, say, this. Like this, I'm going direct, not even using an amp. So I want a nice, clean sound. But the solid body guitars, they interact with the amplifier so much that, the amp becomes as much the sound as the guitar. So, Joe Pass played a Jazzmaster. I guess at that point in his career, it wouldn't have mattered. He wanted an endorsement. So, it could have been a Gretsch, it could have been a Gibson, or whatever, That's my opinion. I don't think he went and... He in the beginning, Fender was giving guitars to everybody. This is what I've heard. That... all the and the surf music, which came out of Southern California, with the Fullerton, with Fender and Fullerton, was giving those guitars to guys to play. Otherwise, that's when they got started. So that's what happened, and it created that sound, and it was all about the amps too, man. And the reverb unit.
All right. Paolo says, Rich, is for you a problem not to know the stuff you're playing? Paolo, I'm not sure what you.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't usually know that stuff as well as I should. You'd think I'd prepare a little better.
He said, and then his follow-up was, I'm not Joe Pass. Anyway, maybe if you could clarify that, Paulo, and we can re-ask it, that'd be great. Barry Roberts asked this earlier, and thanks for asking it again. Is there a good course for learning comping as opposed to rhythm playing?
Well, Barry, you've got enough on your plate. Stay with it, because there's comping in that. Comping is a very weird thing, okay? Comping simply means your rhythm is like this. So, living is easy. Fish are jumping. Right? I'm creating rhythm. Comping is more of, let's say, an accent or an answer to the melody, okay? Because you have to be very careful when you comp that you're not stepping all over everybody. So you're going, summertime, living is easy. Where there's holes in the melody, summertime, and the living is easy. This are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich. So hush, little bit. You notice I'm not playing melody underneath the melody that's happening. As I'm trying to sing, but I can't. So that's what comping is. It could be an answer to the melody. You want to support the melody with the harmony. Let it ring out. Play little riffs here and there. So that's what comping is.
And here's this Dirty Dozen Jazz Chords and Comping Starter collection.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did want to do something, that'd probably be the place to go, right?
Yeah.
But like you said, you already have enough on your plate.
Yeah.
I'll put that in the chat, this link, in case you want to check it out.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, so Todd Heimbuck has a question here. So he's brought this up on past live streams. Hey guys, the subject of my 1946 Gibson L50 seems to stump you guys. It's the closest I will probably ever come to a tone machine like, say, your vintage L5. 16-inch lower bout, solid carved spruce top, solid maple back and sides, mahogany neck, non-elevated fretboard. Once I repair its crushed upper bout, do you think it could ever compare tonally to the revered vintage classics?
Yeah.
But does it have a pickup?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
It's a 1946 Gibson L50. So you think it could? I mean, it's got to have the tone, right? What is an L50?
Yeah, is it 17 inch? Is that what he said? I mean, you could look it up and reverb, but yeah, it's a nice old guitar. It's going to have its own voice. And so whatever. Hi, Pat Evans. Now you're out of here. You're leaving.
Yeah, because like I don't know this one.
Wow.
I think that doesn't have they don't have pickups, so
Yeah.
well, this one does.
Oh, it's got
That's
the
it.
monkey and the stick there. Huh?
Right. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that depends on how you want to get
That seems like goodbye.
how you want to get that.
No, I'm done. I've quit.
Wait, what?
I'm quit buying guitars. I'm sick of it.
I'm like you got like Tourette's syndrome back there. No. No.
Okay, so somebody asked, let's see, I saw it where, Fred, what is your favorite, best playing sounding all around guitar ever, and do you still have it? And it's this here. This is my L4. Although I came home from a gig playing it the other night, and on the way home I called Gail and I said, you know what, I'm going to sell this thing.
That cannot be the best sounding guitar that you've ever had.
Are you serious?
I don't think that thing's very. I mean, it sounds great, yeah, but it's not anything special.
Are you kidding? No way. What? Let's let them decide. Why wouldn't you like that? You kidding?
I mean, it does sound good, but I feel like I've heard some Heritages play and sound just as good.
Yeah, maybe so. It's got old strings on it. Ooh, really? Come on. The neck is kind of chunky, and the older I get, the less chunky I like that. I've had this guitar for, what do you think, Gail? 25 years? I think it's a 92, so I got it when it was close to new. Oh, that would be more than that, wasn't it? 30 years? Jeez. Let's play a tune on it, though, okay? Wes, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, then. How about C minor blues? And this is, we were going to play it last week, and I never got around to it. It's called Minor in Possession. Goes like this. All right, simple. Let's play a tune. I have to adjust things. Whoa. Anyway, there it is. Yeah, I yeah, I had this guitar refretted because I didn't like the original frets that were on it. They were so low, and I don't know why they were low, but they were low. And anyway, so anyway, I had it refretted. Now I think, well, maybe they need to be lowered a little. I don't know. I'm not happy with anything.
Yeah, you need to get your act together and figure out what seems like there's a deeper issue here.
I think you're right. I think it has to I don't know what it is. Maybe I need to go see a shrink.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Do some therapy.
You know, it's like buying a new fishing pole because you can't catch any fish.
Right.
So you buy a new pole. Well,
There you go.
there you go.
There was
I think,
some other questions here, some good ones. First off, Don Spain said, I have a 6118 double anniversary Gretsch that worked pretty well for jazz, very versatile in my opinion.
oh, nice. A 61. Well, that might
No,
be.
it's a 6118 double anniversary.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a model number, not a year. I don't think. Unless, is it from the 60s, Don? I'm not sure. Question here, though, good one from Danielle. After hiding from the pandemic for a long time, now finding it difficult to get consistent volume at bar room volume with my AR 503 CE. Tempted to go shopping for a semi-hollow. What's your favorite for playing in bars?
What amp are you using? And what kind of music are you playing?
I'd assume it's jazz if she's playing her, AR 503 CE, right?
Yeah, it's probably your amp. It's probably your amp.
Fender Reverb.
Yeah, don't use a Fender amp. Do not use a Fender amp.
Dana Jones says, what is your pedals setup? Pedals, as in how many pedals you got?
I got this many pedals.
Yeah, so we're going there's not even an amp going on right now. We're plugged straight into a mixing board and going straight to the computer.
Mm-hmm.
So no pedals, no amps, nothing.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, gives you a good idea of.
Yeah,
the
you know,
guitar.
pedals. God, it's just a pain in the ass, man. You got to play. You know, I do have a Zen drive. I've got a 805 Seymour Duncan drive distortion. I've got a one of these pedal boards. You know, that's all self-contained. God, not Diodario. What's the one that starts with a D? Does it start with a D? I don't know. I don't use it anymore, so I don't even know what it even is. I used to use it at church anymore a lot, and then at some gigs when you got to play, you know, stuff. So, yeah, life is so much easier without pedals. Oh, God. Just all these knobs, you got to turn them.
Dave Branson asks, ever use a Quilter Aviator and think that you should have used a Cub? I want to know whether the Aviator is the best choice if money isn't the primary driver. but one would really crank it up.
Then you got to get the Mach 3. Get the Mach 3.
Is that that's better than the Cub?
Yeah. It's got more knobs. Got a lot more knobs, and you can do some channel switching and all that stuff.
But, I mean, is it worth the extra money? What if you don't, like,
Yes.
what if you're playing it, you don't even use half the knobs?
Yeah, but they're there in case you want to use it. It's like having a spare tire in your car. You never use it unless you need it.
I don't know if that's a fair analogy, but okay. All right, David, that's the answer you get, man.
Yeah.
Adam Falk, any tips on remembering the harmony to so many songs? From Adam Falk.
Well, I think it's good to know the words and the chords that go with the words. So you might want to go, take a tune. Together. Sing the melody. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. So you want to be able to sing it, and then playing chord melody is really good, because if you're just learning chords like D minor, E minor, A7, D minor, A minor 7 flat 5, D7, G, that's a lot of work, and a lot of room to mess up. Number one, reduce chords to their family. Okay, so if it says D minor, okay, don't worry if it's D minor 9, D minor 11, blah, blah, blah. Or A7, don't worry if it's A augmented, A7 flat 5, A13, all of the alternatives, just call it A7. And if it's the 2 chord in a minor key, minor 7 flat 5, just call it that. Not minor 11 flat 5 or whatever. Just keep it simple, okay? That's number one. You might play other things. It doesn't matter. Just call it all D minor or whatever the chord is. So that's number two. And then right, I already mentioned playing chord melody, right? Learn the words, learn the chord melody. Did I already do this? Anyway, then you learn a chord melody. And then you want to make an analysis of the chords, okay? What is the song doing? In this case, it's going 1 chord, and then 2, 5, back to 1, 2, 5, then 1, and then 2, 5 of 4, okay? So that is very handy to know. So you want to make an analysis of what's going on with the chords, which I always want to do lessons like that for YouTube. Let's do the analysis of here, there, and everywhere. Wes says it's not going to fly. Is that right, Wes?
I mean, compared to you doing an analysis of how good your Gibson L5 sounds, no, I don't think it's going to do as good, no. But let's do it. I'm always down.
Okay.
I'm down, man, down.
You tell lies thinking I can't see.
Okay, so
I'm down.
getting back to
I'm down.
okay, so Jim Falco says to Danielle, he also has an AR503. Forget using it in any kind of volume situation. Just get it semi-hollow. Paulo,
Okay, I'll tell you the best semi-hollow is to get a Heritage 535. I doubt. Don't get a. I think they're all way better than a
335.
335. Don't get a 339. Don't get a 535 or get an Eastman T59.
Right.
And I have demos on all these guitars, by the way. You can see them on YouTube, on the YouTube. I think they're on the YouTube.
Paulo followed up, says, I still have to learn the major scales. I just play by ear, but I think this may be not the best approach. Still, I can play good stuff. So,
Well, if you want to learn the language of music, it's best to know theory and to know where it lies on your guitar, right? That's what you want to do. So right now it's like moving to France and just knowing a few phrases and a few things to say. You don't understand the language. It's always good to understand the language. Not that I could do that, but I know the music language. So it's all about theory. And like I said, like take an F scale. Play it on every string. And you'll hear when you make a mistake, because listen. Oh, that didn't sound right. You have the tonality of F in your head. All right, that's really important, just to be able to play everything, the whole key on every string.
let's see. Eloy Guts asked if I play guitar, and I do, but I do not play jazz. I strum chords and tinker around on the electric. So I need to get with the program. I guess I need to take the JGI course and start wailing some jazz stuff. It would be fun, but yeah. I have a lot of other things that I need to work on as opposed to guitar right now, like getting this business to make more money. That's what I'm.
Yeah, and if you like what Wes does, give him a tip.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. There's tip link in the description of this video. So go in there.
Okay. Oh, so Jim Rolfe said Digitech. That's what it is. Thank you, Jim. Digitech. I had a Gretsch Salvador. I've never heard of that guitar. I would like to check that out.
Dana Jones asked, what's the difference between a Gibson L5 and a Gibson Birdland?
Well, the big difference. The Birdland's thinner. Birdland is scale length is 25 or 23 and a half inch. No, 23 and a half inch scale. L5 is 25 and a half. 2-inch difference in the scale length. That's a big difference. So thinner, shorter neck. Oh, Wes, hey, look at this guy says, I have your rock and blues and country guitar solos old books. The solos on these books are massive. Thank you. Very few musicians can play rock and jazz such a great level. Thank you. Thank you. By the way, we had gotten a message. Somebody wanted to buy my guitar technique book, which I think I've got it in here. Here's my guitar technique book. And so he found it on Amazon for $88. And so Gail saw that and he said, well, wait a minute, you can buy a new one because Alfred still makes it for $16. So, and then we were looking around. And like this blues and rock book, and it's got the sound sheet in there. How much was that, Gail? Like $50 for this, something like that. I mean, that's they don't make that anymore with the sound sheet, of course.
Here, this guitar technique.
Oh, well, you found it.
Yeah. Bargain price, $16.99. You know, I was saying.
Look at that guitar on there. Check that guitar out. Okay, that is a 62 ES 175. I love the way that thing played. It played so well, but I did not like the tone. It just didn't sound that good to me. It's those PAF pickups, and you know, the ones that cost thousands of dollars now. The pickups to me just didn't sound that good. And the other thing, you know, here's how dumb I was. I'm looking at the pickups. I'm thinking, why aren't they shiny? I've tried to shine them up. They're not shiny. It bothered me, you know. Come to find out years later, well, they're nickel, you idiot. They're made out of nickel. So no wonder. I wanted to be, you know, it's hard to shine, you know, a nickel, like a coin, a nickel coin, you know. It's hard to shine an old nickel coin.
So let's see. Danielle followed up. She says she plays in the bar, jazz standards, chord melody with a DV Mark little jazz amp.
And it's feeding back, huh?
And now thinking that too much reverb may have been a problem at the bar. Yeah.
Well, you know, I would think you would be, remember, you want to position the amplifier on this side of you, not on this side where it can hit the back end of the guitar. Get it over, get it away from you. I think that would help.
What about, don't you want to put it on a certain side of you too?
That's what I just said. Yeah, you put it on the neck side.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mike Carr just chimed in, said he actually played on your sound sheet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hey, Mike, do you remember that drummer on the country one? His name was Lynn. Where is that? Yeah, Mike, absolutely. Mike is a wonderful bass player. This is the blues one. It's got your name in here somewhere. Here we are, Mike Carr bass. Boyd Cannon drums. Oh yeah, the drummer or the piano player was freaking smoking. And I used to do some casuals with him. Richard. What does that say? I can't read that anymore. Damn. God, that guy was good.
Richard Aronson?
Yeah.
Aronson? Aronson?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he was really good. But remember the drummer, Lynn, was it Hammond, I think, on the other one? Man, that guy he was sweet.
So Richard Stancius asks, when playing octaves, can a major 7 or a flat 9 be used, or is that not jazz?
Well, sure. Whatever chord's being played, you can outline it. You know, if it's a C major 7 or F major 7, you can outline. If it's a flat 9, of course. Yes, absolutely. You want to outline the chords. By the way, Wes Montgomery would have turned 100 years old the other day. And Gail, did you put that link on there about that? There's a wonderful documentary about him on PBS, and you ought to check it out. It's really, really good. And then I was watching Joe Diario, I think I already talked about this last week. Joe Diario interview, and he was talking about Wes Montgomery, how Wes was just the nicest person you'd ever want to meet. He was just a sincerely cared about people, and was really super nice. And that's what Wes's wife said attracted it to him. The guy was really super nice. He was just a super nice guy. Anyway.
So Jim Falco had a comment a while back, and it stirred up a little thing. He just said, "Say goodbye to Eastman," and everyone was like, "Why?" And he said a $1,500 Eastman would jump to $3,000, and everyone was like, "Why?" And he said Eastman guitar is very popular, but if Chinese exports get hit with big tariffs, their prices will double.
Well, they already were hit, and that's I actually called the company to talk to them about that, and they're like, "What do you mean, huh? What?" Because when Trump put the tariffs on there, I don't know if they plan on doing more of that, but yeah, that's true. That might. So it makes your used Eastman worth more, huh?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard that there was plans for more or anything like that.
Maybe to help pay for the pandemic, because now now they say it came from the Wuhan lab, which everybody suspected. Of course, you were then either what do they call them, a conspiracy theorist or a racist or something. I don't know. Jacked up. You watch the news one night and it's enough to set you off for a week. God.
Yeah, I completely I do not even partake in any sort of news anymore. Just leads to nothing but stress, added stress, and like feelings that you don't need to have.
Well, unless you're in a position to do something about it, or to at least, which most of us aren't.
Right. I mean,
but you do have a congressman to write your congressman and voice your opinion.
Yeah, if he thinks if your congressman doesn't believe, or they're in a different party opposite of you, they're gonna do what they want.
Well, that's true.
I mean, it doesn't matter how many times Republicans or Democrats write to their congressman who's the opposite of them, they're not going to do anything. So
no, everything is so party lined.
Right, exactly. So anyway, Rob asks, how about a Sire H7V? Very cool guitar. Have you ever played one?
What's that, Rob? A
Sire.
I don't know. Can you look it up on YouTube?
Yeah.
Hey, my car. Lynn Hammond went to work for Kenny Rogers.
Oh, this.
Really? I saw Kenny Rogers when he was big. I didn't know that. I didn't recognize him on drums. Of course, maybe that was him. Isn't that funny? Wow.
So this Sire is this Larry Carlton thing. Looks like it's like a thin line.
I see. Yeah.
Option for a pretty good price.
Well, yeah, that's a good price.
Yeah, I don't know where they're made.
What do you think, Rob? Do you like those?
Trying to see where it was made.
Oh, I'm sure I can tell you right now, it's made in China.
Right. Anyway, looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks just like a thin line guitar.
There's like 2 or 3 manufacturers in China. And remember, you did that big thing about the Chinese town and went out to be the guitar manufacturer of the world, and they actually have become that.
Oh yeah, that
yeah.
The town is basically all
all
guitar makers.
Yeah,
based around those like 6 factories or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting for sure. Let's see.
Mike, thanks for that. Lynn Hammond, the guy was just the sweetest, nicest guy. And I remember I said, "Hey man, can you play a bunch of can you play some flamadiddles, flams? You know when you play those backbeats." You know, and boy, and he did, man. He was really good. And him and Mike together, what a team.
Jim says that he has a Marcus Miller Sire 5-string bass, awesome workmanship, $900. Sire in Indonesia, he says.
Indonesia, okay.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. And then Paulo asks, "What's the story of flat wound strings in jazz?" What is the story?
That's a good question. I don't know. Did round wound strings come out first or flat wound? I think flat wounds did because violin strings and stuff like that are flat wound, kind of, with a rope core, I believe, with a wrapping tape wrap on it. So, gosh, that's probably. So they were probably there before, and they're a little duller. You don't get the when you move your hands on them, and generally with a flat wound string, if you take a 40, say a 46, the flat wound string is going to have a deeper core, a wider core. That a round wound is going to have a smaller core because it winds a little string around it. The flat wound string is wound with tape, so it's got a bigger core.
Right. Yeah, they don't do. You sounded like a Donald Duck when you were doing the.
I did.
Yeah.
I would.
When you were doing the string noise.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. There's a couple more questions here. We got to be getting close to wrapping this thing up, man. It's burrito 30 right now. I'm starving. Gary the Crow, he says, Gibson L4 CES maple back and sides?
Yes.
Versus mahogany back and sides.
This one's maple.
Any difference in tone in your opinion?
Yes. Yeah, mahogany sounds different. Whether it's better or not is up to you. I like a mahogany. I think mahogany sounds nice. I like it.
Nice. And then
Well, I was going to show these other guitars, but I forgot. We don't have time. We'll do it. I'm thinking I'm going to sell this. Let me play that.
Okay.
I'm vacillating on these guitars, but this particular guitar is a Heritage 550. I bought the guitar a few years back, mainly for the feedback issue, because some of these other ones, the Eagles and stuff, the spruce top will feed back. Now this is a maple top. This is essentially a Tal Farlow. And so it's pressed maple sides and back. And one in that's I think 3-inch body depth, 17-inch ebony fretboard. Somebody was asking about my strap.
Right.
It's LM, available at Guitar Center, I think. And LM, and it's a bass strap. Don't look for guitars, look for bass. There it is, $25. I've had one for 15 years.
Can you, he said,
Woohoo!
he asked also, do you rest the guitar on your lap or suspend it just above when you play sitting down?
Yeah, you see where my knee is? It's on my knee. See that? Like that? It's on my knee. thing sounds good. Shit. Yeah, so that's maybe this sounds better than the towel. I like the neck on this. It's a thinner neck, but again, I got that Tal Farlow. It's essentially the same thing. I just like the looks of the Tal Farlow better. But it was funny. A guy called me up after I played at the John Pisano thing. It's a little out of adjustment and needs strings. He called me up and asked me about what guitar was that. That was the most beautiful guitar I've ever seen. Oh my God, I can't believe the sound of it. And that was this. Anybody got any requests for a last song?
Oh, requests. There's. I'm trying to get to all these. There's one more question here. Have any comments or opinions on a Gibson Birdland?
Yeah, they're bitching. But I tell you what, unless you buy a new one, a newer one from the custom shop, back in the day, you could pick up two Birdlands and they sound completely different. I don't know why, what was going on back in the, let's say, 90s, 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s. They sound completely different. You go back to the 60s, those have a certain sound, and I think it's more consistent. The newer ones, if you can get a newer one, and they pop up every once in a while, I think those are nice. I have a line on a 68 that is in kind of not the best shape because it gassed off, but I thought, man, I'd love to have that.
Can you still get a Heritage with a matching pickguard?
No.
So there's some requests that come through. You got Tenderly, Twisted Blues, Something by Wes Montgomery, It Might As Well Be Spring,
Wow.
Moon Dance, The Nearness of You.
Well, I'm going to play something with a track.
Autumn in New York.
Well, thank you for those requests. That's really nice. But you said Tenderly, and I do have a track on Tenderly.
Up Jumped Spring.
Up jumps, yeah.
Just throwing out some options for you.
Thank you.
So what did you decide on?
Tenderly. Yeah, it took one time through to remember how the song went. But anyway, at least you get an A for effort. So, yeah, what do you think of this?
Yeah, see, I mean, this, what I was saying earlier is, it sounds pretty darn good compared to the L4. Is there that big of a difference between that L4 and that?
Well, sound-wise, you know.
Gail Severson on the comment board said she likes the sound of that better.
Gail said that?
Yeah.
Well, she's heard a lot of guitars in her day, I'll tell you that.
Mark Wilkerson sliding a question in here.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think these are Schallers. I don't think they're the... But you know what would be bitching in this guitar is one of those rail hammers. I got to write to Ken and tell him about that. Well, look, shall we wrap it up? Is it time? Is it Burrito 30?
Yes. Yeah, it's 1:15.
Well, thank you, you guys. I really want to thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. So nice to hear from old friends like Mike Carr, Jim Rolfe, Robin Riggs. Thank you for joining us. Old friends like Gail Severson, Wes Severson. Mark Wilkerson, nice to see you, hear you. Anyway, I will talk at you guys later. Okay, we'll see you later. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next week. And Wes, we didn't do your news. Well, we'll have to keep it for next week.